Have you ever considered everything you went through in your life was not for your benefit? You might say, not for my benefit. Yeah, everything you went through in your life, the good, the bad, the indifferent, is not for your benefit. It's for the benefit of others. You might have went through a divorce. You might have went through bankruptcy. You might went through being in debt and have your car repossessed. Everything you went through may not be for your benefit, but for the benefit of others. And we're going to discuss it today because God said you have need of that test. You have need of that test because all the tests that you're going through is increasing your faith. You might say, how can it increase my faith? I went through a divorce. It's increasing your faith because you know God has your back. Well, I didn't know God has. Yes, God has your back. He has your front. He has your side. He has you covered. Since God has you covered, you must understand everything you went through was not for your benefit, but for the benefit of others. Because you've been assigned, this life to live. And everything you go through, you're going through to help those who come after you get out of the situation that they was in. They might be in the same situation that you was in, and they need to find their way out. They're looking for an answer, and you're the answer. You're the answer because you didn't even realize what you went through was not for your benefit, but for the benefit of others. Everything you went through is for the benefit of others. Yeah, you might say, well, they never went through what I went through. I went through being homeless. I was homeless too. But me and my mom's, when I was like 10 years old, we left. She left an abusive marriage. We left Queens, New York. Anybody know Queens, New York? Type in the feed if you're from Queens. If you don't know Queens, New York, I'm not even going to discuss because that's the best time of my life. But we left Queens, New York because my mom's in an abusive marriage. And that's when I met my real father. And everything that happened from that point on, that changed my life and shaped me to the person that I am now. Because everything I went through was not for the benefit of me. It's for the benefit of others, including you. It shapes your mind. Some people say that, the first traumatic thing that happened to you, it might be when you in your teens, 13 to 17 or 18. That's true. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened, but the thing that happened between 13 to 17, and I'm going to even go further back, from 10 to 17, it changed my life traumatically or drastically. Did I make a word up? Traumatically? Yeah, I think I made a word up. See, I be making up these words. So forgive me if you don't understand what I said, but dramatically, it changed my life. When I was 10, I met my real father. And when I met him, they said, oh, you split an image. Oh, man, you look like him. That's your father. Oh, I didn't know. I was happy. But after a while, I loved to hate him because he was strict. And since he was being strict, it was like, man, you got to do this and do that. You have to act this way. You got to say like this. You better say sir. You better say ma'am. I was like, what is that? Because I was growing up. I was doing what I want to do. Went to bed when I want to go to bed. I didn't even really go to school. Yeah, I was 10 years old and I was cutting school. Lived right across the street. But I met him. And like I said, it was a love-hate relationship. And after a while, I started to like him a little bit, started to love him because he was teaching me discipline. So after a while, 11 years old, 12 years old, meeting my other families, 13 years old, 14. And by the time I turned 16, I was like, oh man, this is great. This is fantastic. Man, I got my father. I met my real father. Everything is good. I got good grades. And he was like, yo, we're going to go to the Yankee game because we had moved from Queens to Manhattan. Then we moved to the Bronx. So after a while, I was like, yeah, we're going to go to the Yankee game. And, I got the tickets and we're going to go Monday because that's the day off. And, I came home Friday after school because I got good grades. I'm like, yo, I'm going to show them my good grades because, I was messing up in school and I got good grades. So I came home and came inside the room And I came back out to get like my little, I eat sandwiches, jelly sandwich. I saw him on the ground. So I was like, I ain't paying no mind because, he exercised. And, I used to watch Punky Brewster at the time because Punky Brewster, that was my show. I don't care what you'll say. Punky Brewster was my show. And she had one of the shows that, she did a show with her and Sherry. I think Sherry was her best friend. And she was trapped in the refrigerator, and she was like, oh, where's Sherry at? They was playing hide and seek, and she found Sherry. She was unconscious, and she started doing, CPR. And I was like, oh, man, that was powerful, but I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about no CPR. I ain't worried about no CPR, please. So I was like, after a while, I was like, that's okay, it's fine. I ain't watching, I ain't paying no attention. So back to when I went home, got my jelly sandwich sitting in my room, came back out, my father's still on the ground, and I'm like, something ain't right, something wrong. Then I got closer, it sounded like he was struggling to breathe, and I got closer, he was turning pale, and I was like, oh, he not breathing. You're not breathing. I said, oh shoot, something. Oh man, I gotta do something. I got down on the ground and I started, looking, and I remember, I gotta do CPR. I gotta do something. I gotta do chest compression. And I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, something wrong, something going on, something happened. And I'm looking and I'm doing chest compression. I might be doing it wrong, but I was upset and I was like, oh man, I don't know what to do. I'm trying to figure this out. And then I remember Punky Brewster. If you pinch the nose and tilt the head back and breathe in their mouth and then do 3 compressions. I didn't understand what to do, and I was just trying to figure it out, and I was frustrated and trying to figure it out, and I was upset, and I was trying not to cry, but I was crying. I was like, oh, what's going on? I don't know what to do. And I'm trying, and I'm looking. I'm like, don't go, don't leave, don't die on me, because I just met you a couple of years ago. Don't die on me. And then after a while, the ambulance came, but before they came, they was like, nah. Once they shook his head, my mom screamed, and I was like, put my head down, and I walked outside. And he died in my arms. He died in my arms. So what I'm saying now, everything you go through is not to benefit you, it's to benefit others. Because I carried that for years. I said, if I only paid attention, maybe I could have saved him. If I only paid attention, maybe I could have done the CPR better. If I did CPR better, maybe I could have saved him. I carried that for years. 5 years. 6 years. And one day my sister, she's funny. She's funny. She was like, yo, what's wrong with you? Because I used to come in the house mad, angry. And she was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, if I paid attention, maybe Jimmy would have been alive. And she was like, what? What's wrong with you? Ma, come here. I was like, if I would have did CPR the correct way, he would have been alive. She was like, what's wrong with you, stupid? What's wrong with you? Yo, man up. She was like, man up. I was like, what you talking about? Don't you know that the paramedics said he was still alive when they got there? I was like, there was? It's like, you dodo bird. My mom's always said dodo bird. She kind of old. She kind of up in the age. She was like, you dodo bird. You didn't know that? I didn't know that. She's like, oh, go in there and get something to eat. Just get out of my face. Get something to eat. My sister's like, yeah, he was alive when they got here. You little bit of CPR you did know. You kept him alive till they got here, but he passed away after they was trying to bring him to and all that stuff. So anyway, everything that you go through is not to benefit you, it's to benefit others. And when I tell people that story, unbeknownst to me, they had a tragedy in their life, not knowing that the things that they tried to do, it did help. It did what it's supposed to do. It did what it was designed to do. It benefited others more than it benefited themselves. So that's the conversation I want to talk to you today, because it's already 10 minutes in. I do not want to make a long video. 15 video got me up here crying up in here. I didn't design this conversation to go that far and that deep, but like I said, this is my life. This is my experience, and I want to share it with you. In this community, we have to be our authentic self. And I want to give you everything that I have experienced, because it's not benefiting me as much as it'll benefit you. So that's my time. Hope this video has been a blessing to you. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much, got off the frame of thought, but the experience that you go through is not to benefit you. It's for the benefit of others. So once again, this is my life. This is my experience. This is my time. God bless.